Fáilte, fellow creatures of the night. As the witching hour approaches, we begin our tale for tonight. So check the doors and windows are locked. Look underneath the bed and turn down all the lights. For tonight's tale is about to begin. There's a man in the woods behind my house. I should start with the first of the two encounters. When I was little, I would come to visit my family in Germany every 2 years. The last time I went to visit, I was 8, and that's when I saw him first. I was pulling my cousin's scooter up the hill and to the top of the garden, bordering the woods, something I had done numerous times at this point. There is a little arch covering a path leading into the woods, which is where I've been standing, ready to hop onto the scooter and ride it down through my Opa's garden, much to his dismay. I was tying the laces to my hot pink tennis shoes, giggling to myself as I imagined how mad Opa would be, scolding me loudly in German I didn't understand anymore. I stood up, put my foot on the scooter, and just as I was going to take off, I peered behind me for no reason at all. Just wanted to look at the woods, I guess. But that's not what I saw. Instead, I saw a man. He stood half in the woods, half on the path, and with a grin on his pasty pale face, staring right into my frightened eyes. I was already a skittish child as it was, but seeing a tall, grinning man staring at me from the woods wasn't something I liked very much. The man took a step forward, and that's when I saw his out-of-place outfit. He wore an old, torn and dirty suit. The colour nor material of his slacks matched the top, more of a dark grey than the black of his suit jacket was. At this point, I screamed at the top of my lungs, abandoned the bike, and stumbled down the hill, and to the porch where my aunt, uncle, and sister all sat. Tears in my eyes and panting hard, I recounted what I'd seen, and even went so far as to draw a horrible sketch of the man. I'm certain my aunt and uncle didn't believe my story, and my sister was rather indifferent to it, not one to believe me when I tell her something that scared me. The remainder of my trip, I did not see the man once more, but I sure as hell didn't go back up there to look. That was my first encounter with him. It has now been around 5 years since then, and I've just moved back to Germany in the same house. Until last night, I'd completely forgotten about this man, but that memory was brought back to my mind yesterday. I had taken Omi's dog, Samu, with me on a run. Something I had done so often since I'd moved back here 2 months ago. Samu is a golden doodle, a big, fluffy white dog who won't even hurt a fly. Overall, the sweetest dog I've ever known. We're walking up past the forest, and on the road that winds up and down past horses and a soccer field, my favourite route to take. It's about an hour if I walk, which is what I planned last night. 15 or so minutes in, I've let Samu off his leash, letting him run around a bit. I have music playing from my phone and I'm singing along, enjoying the scenery of rural Germany, when I hear Samu bark. something incredibly out of character for him. Jogging a bit to where I believe him to be, I spot him, barking rather aggressively at a cluster of trees, but not moving from his spot, as far as he can get from the trees while standing on the road. I pause my music, shove my phone in my back pocket and run up to him, clipping his collar on the leash. At that moment, I'm thinking it's a cow or someone jogging like myself. But as I look up, my eyes connect with him. The same damned man from all those years ago in the same damned mismatched suit and with the same damned grin. His eyes have a dead, empty look in them. Something from nightmares or horror movies, something I didn't think I'd ever see in real life. My heart is hammering in my chest, and I go still. Samu's barks turn to low, aggressive barks as he starts stepping through the foliage and onto the road 10 or so feet from where I stand. And that's when I hear him speak for the first time.
You're back. I missed you.
He rasped in a voice so terrifying, my heart jumped. These are the words that send me running. I grabbed a tight hold on Samu's leash and book it back in the direction of my house, my pulse through the roof and my brain screaming at me, "Run! Run! Run!" As I run, pumping my arms and running as fast as I possibly can, I hear him call out to me.
You can run as fast and as far as you want. But I will find you, just like always.
This threat pushes me into such a stage of panic, I'm surprised I didn't drop to the ground and sob. Samu ran alongside me as I turned down the road and down the hill. I ran until I felt I could take a moment to stop and regain my breath. I hadn't noticed the tears that spilled down my cheeks until then, but I swiped them away and shakily pulled my phone out, going to my contacts and calling my aunt, the only thing I could think to do in that moment. I cried out to her on the phone and summed up what happened, more tears falling down my cheeks. I could tell she believed me this time, from the way her usual cheer dropped from her voice, worry replacing it instantly. "How close are you to home?" I looked ahead of me and told her maybe 5 minutes. "Okay, run and get here quickly. I'll let you in downstairs." I said all right, hung up, and despite how tired I was and how much I wanted to curl up and sob, I forced myself into a sprint and ran all the way back home, Samu running by my side, and the man's threat echoing through my head over and over. My family and I have agreed to not have me go alone outside, and I'm sitting in my room, blinds all drawn closed, and all the lights on as I write this. None of us know who this man is, but my aunt is taking me to the police station tomorrow morning to explain what happened. The dead look in his eyes and the rasp in his voice replay again and again, terrorizing me as I try to calm myself. I hope I never see him again. But something deep down tells me that I will indeed encounter him many more times. Thanks for joining me for tonight's tale, Darklings. I am GoblinPrincessKyo, and if you enjoyed our encounter, then subscribe for more accounts and tales from the darker side of life. Ah, the broom fell. Company is coming. Sweet dreams. Meet you back at midnight.